I want to start by saying something that's hard to believe, even for me after all these years. I spent over 40 years as a nun, praying every day, thinking I was serving God to fill a hole in my heart, only to find out my own father was a priest. Yeah, you heard that right. My dad was a man of the cloth, and my mom kept it hidden until she was dying. If that doesn't shock you, stick around because this story gets deeper, full of pain, secrets, and a kind of hope I never expected. Have you ever discovered a family secret that turned your world upside down? Drop a comment below and tell me. Maybe we can share that feeling. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more real stories like this. Okay, let's get into it. My name's Evelyn Thompson, and I'm 78 now, living in this little house on the edge of Willow Creek, a tiny town in rural Texas where everyone knows your business before you do. It's one of those places where the biggest excitement is the Friday night bingo at the community hall, and the air always smells like fresh-cut grass mixed with barbecue smoke from someone's backyard. My home's simple. Wood floors I sweep every morning, a porch swing where I sip my coffee, and a garden out back with tomatoes and sunflowers that keep me company. Chickens peck around too, reminding me of simpler times. But my life wasn't always this quiet. Growing up, it was full of unspoken hurts that shaped everything. I was born in 1947, right after the war, when things were supposed to be getting better for folks. My mom, Clara, raised me alone in a shotgun house on the outskirts of town. She worked as a seamstress, fixing dresses for the richer ladies downtown, always with her head down, humming old hymns under her breath. Mom was quiet, the kind of woman who spoke with her eyes more than her words. Sad eyes that seemed to carry a weight I could never lift. She wasn't big on hugs or I love yous, but she'd stay up all night if I had a fever, pressing cool cloths to my forehead and whispering prayers. Our house was silent most days, just the tick of the old wall clock and the creak of her sewing machine. No radio blaring, no laughter echoing. It felt like a church without the warmth. As a kid, I always wondered about my dad. Mom would shut down any questions faster than a door in a storm. "He left before you were born," she'd say, her voice flat, and that was it. No pictures, no stories. In school, when kids talked about their fathers teaching them to ride bikes or taking them fishing at the lake, I'd make up excuses to skip out, stomachache, headache, anything. It hurt like a thorn in my side, that empty spot where a dad should be. My birth certificate? Just my mom's name and a blank line for father. I'd stare at it sometimes, tracing that empty space with my finger, wondering who he was. Did he look like me? Did he ever think about me? Aunt Louise, Mom's older sister, would drop hints now and then. She'd say things like, "Your mom wasn't always this quiet. She used to sing in the church choir, light up the room." But when I'd push for more, she'd clam up. "Not for little ears." Our family wasn't poor, but we scraped by. Mom kept a small altar in the corner with candles and saint statues, praying every night like she was begging for forgiveness. I thought it was just her way of dealing with being alone. Storms scared her the most. Thunder would have her trembling, kneeling by the bed, muttering prayers louder than usual. I'd hide under the covers, more afraid of her fear than the lightning. When my half-sister Rosie came along, I was about 10. Things changed a bit. She was from Mom's marriage to Mr. Harold, a quiet mechanic who treated us okay, but never tried to be my dad. He taught me how to change a tire and spot rain coming by the wind's smell. But there was always this distance. Rosie was bubbly, full of life, always chattering. Mom looked at her differently. No shadow in her eyes, like when she looked at me. It stung, that difference, like I was a reminder of something bad. But I pushed it down, focused on school and church. Church was my escape. The old wooden pews, the smell of incense, the hymns that filled the air. It felt like home. Father Daniel, our priest back then, had this gentle voice that made you feel seen. At 15, I started feeling this pull, like God was calling me. While other girls dreamed of boys and weddings, I dreamed of serving. One Sunday after Mass, I told Father Daniel, my hands shaking, "I think I'm meant to be a nun." He smiled, put a hand on my shoulder. "That's a special calling, Evelyn. Not everyone hears it." I cried right there, spilling out how I felt empty inside, like something was missing, and maybe God could fill it. When I told Mom I wanted to join the convent, she hugged me tight, first time in years, and whispered, "Thank God." I thought she was proud. Looking back, maybe she was relieved, like she was saving me from her mistakes. Mr. Harold just nodded. "If that's what you want, go with God." Rosie, only 5, cried about me leaving. The day I left, it was raining lightly, that soft Texas drizzle that smells like earth. Mom gave me her old rosary, worn smooth from years of prayers. "Pray every day," she said. I promised. The trip to St. Mary's Convent in Austin was bumpy on those old roads, but I was excited. The building was huge, stone walls rising like a fortress, with views of the hills. Sister Margaret, the Mother Superior, was stern but fair. "This life isn't easy, it's about sacrifice." The early days were tough. Waking at dawn for prayers, silence during meals, scrubbing floors till my knees ached. I missed Mom's sewing hum, Rosie's giggles, but I stuck with it, feeling like I was paying some debt I didn't understand. After months as a postulant, I took my novice vows, got the white veil. Cutting my long hair felt like shedding my old self. They called me Sister Grace. I worked in the infirmary, caring for the sick, bandaging wounds, giving medicine. Kids loved me. I'd tell them stories to ease the pain. But that emptiness lingered, a quiet ache in my chest. I'd pray extra, fast, kneel longer, thinking it was doubt or the devil testing me. Sister Margaret said, "Faith has dry spells. Keep going." Years blurred together. I took final vows at 21, poverty, chastity, obedience. Mom sent a letter. "Proud of you." Life was routine. Prayers, work, more prayers. I aged in those walls, wrinkles creeping in, hair graying under the veil. Letters from home were short. Mom saying everything was fine, Rosie growing up. I visited once for Rosie's wedding. Home felt smaller, Mom older, her eyes still sad. People stared at me like I was a stranger. There's Evelyn, the nun. I felt out of place, like I didn't belong anywhere. Then, in my 50s, dreams started. A man in priest robes, a church I didn't know, running from shadows. I'd wake sweating, heart pounding. Around then, Bishop Thomas visited. He asked about my hometown, then mentioned Father Samuel from Willow Creek years ago. Ever hear of him? I hadn't. But his look lingered, like he knew something. It unsettled me. Why ask? The real turning point came with a letter from Rosie. I was 62, still in the convent. It was out of season, no birthday or holiday. My hands shook opening it under an old oak in the garden. "Dear Sister Grace, but you'll always be Evelyn to me. Mom's not doing well. Lung issues, getting thinner every day. The doctor says it's serious. She asks for you in her sleep. I know your life's there, but if you can come, love, Rosie." My world tilted. Mom dying? I hadn't seen her in years. I asked for leave. Sister Margaret approved. Family comes first. I packed light. Rosary, prayer book, herbal remedies. The bus ride home felt endless. Texas plains rolling by, stirring old memories. At the station, Rosie waited, older now, lines around her eyes. We hugged. She cried. "She's bad, Ev. Glad you came." Home was worn, paint peeling, porch sagging. Mom lay in bed, frail as a bird, skin pale, breathing ragged. Her eyes lit when she saw me. "Evelyn?" I knelt, took her hand. "I'm here, Mom." She touched my face. "You look so much like him." "Him?" She waved it off. "Just tired." Days blurred, cleaning, cooking soups, giving meds. Mr. Harold, now gone, left Rosie helping. Mom's grandkids visited, curious about Aunt Nun. Nights were worst. Her cough shook her. One midnight, as thunder rolled, she grabbed my arm. "Forgive me, Evelyn. The truth. It's bigger than sin." Fever talk, I thought. "Rest, Mom." But she improved a bit, sat on the porch in sun. She reminisced, me climbing trees, helping sew. Then, as dusk fell, she grew serious. "I need to tell you everything." My heart raced. "About your father." She paused, eyes distant. "He didn't leave. He was Father Samuel, our priest." The world stopped. My father? A priest? "Mom, what?" She nodded, tears falling. "We fell in love. It was wrong, but real." She spilled it. At 18, she sang in choir. He was young, kind, talked of God's love. Innocent chats turned to stolen moments, behind the church, by the creek. One night, during a storm, we crossed the line. She trembled. "I got pregnant. Your uncle found out, told my dad. They ran him out of town. Threatened him. Said he'd ruin the church." I sat stunned, pieces clicking. Her fear of storms, her prayers, my pull to the convent. They sent me to a home for wayward girls in Dallas. Harsh place, nuns beating us, calling us sinners. She birthed me there, alone. Father Samuel wanted to leave the priesthood, marry me, but my family said no. He sent letters, money secretly. I hid it all, ashamed. Anger bubbled. "Why not tell me?" She sobbed. "To protect you. What if you hated me, or the church shunned you?" Rosie walked in then, overhearing. "Mom, you told her?" Turns out, Rosie knew parts, overheard as a teen, confronted Mom years ago. I was mad, Ev, but she begged me silent. We cried together, family secrets unraveling. Mom weakened fast. "Find him, Evelyn. He's in Houston now, retired." I searched online with Rosie's help, found obituaries. He died 2 years back, heart attack. Devastated, I screamed into a pillow. So close, yet gone. But his sister, Aunt Miriam, new to me, contacted us via a mutual friend. She visited, bringing photos, letters. "He never stopped looking for you, left the priesthood after, became a teacher, wrote poems about his lost girl." One letter from him. "My dear daughter, if you read this, know I loved you always. Forgive the silence." I wore his old watch, felt his presence. But drama peaked when Miriam revealed. He had another child, a son, your half-brother, from before vows. He hid that too. Shock again. A brother? We met him, tense at first. He resented Dad's absence, but we bonded over shared pain. Mom passed soon after, peaceful, whispering, "Tell him I loved him." At her funeral, town whispers resurfaced, but I stood tall. I left the convent, not angrily, but ready for life. Moved back, volunteered at church, taught kids, wrote my story in a journal, then a book. It spread. Women shared similar secrets, finding strength. Looking back, that ache was my heart knowing truth. If you're hiding pain, speak it. Life's too short for secrets. What's your family secret? Comment below. Maybe, "I heard you, Grandma." And subscribe for more. Thanks for listening.